I'm going to use Java and take a look at FileIO input output. So I'm going to create a new project. I can either click this folder, I can do File, New, Project, Java, Java Application, and I'm going to give it a new name. Let's call it Java FileIO example. Create a main class and finish. I'm using NetBeans, and now I want to clean this up a bit, and I could set up my IDE to where it would do this for me automatically, but then my screen would not look like yours when it first starts. Okay, so I'm working with FileIO, so I want to create a folder in my Java project, and let's see about doing that. I'm going to right click, go to properties, and can I under sources, I want to add a folder under here. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Okay, let's see if I can call it files. Create a new folder, select that, and see if that will work. Okay, so it looks like it created it, or it will create it. Let's see if OK will do it. And there's files added on. Okay, I already have some files which I've created. I'm going to go ahead and just drag those in here. They're txt files. txt, let's open that up and see what's in there. And it's just a lorem ipsum file. Okay, close that. And the target is blank. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy everything from this file into this file. Okay, so I'm going to drag this in here. Drag that one in. Did it drag? And let's see if I can drag that one in. No. Oh, wait, they're there. Okay. Okay. In my projects tab, let me go to my files tab. Okay, there it is. And there's my two files. I drug those into the project, so I should be able to see those in the editor. There they are. All right. Nope, I don't want to discard that. Okay. Click Save All. Alright, let's go ahead and add some code. So, back up a bit here and add some code to my project. Okay, so I added some code to my project. I added an import statement. We're going to be working with Java IO. So I imported that, java.io.asterisk, and don't need that. But I created two variables here, a string variable called source files and one called target files. Now my source file is in this files folder, and use a / in Java to denote separation between folders. And example.txt is that first file that is going to be the source file. We're going to copy everything from that and send it to the target file, and that's in the files folder called target. Alright. I'm going to use a try catch block whenever you start working with files, and this example is with a slightly older version of the IO. In Java 7 and 8 there is a newer version that we can look at, but for now what we want to do whenever we work with files, we want to put it in a try catch block, and in that exception, if anything goes wrong, what we do is that we try this code, and if there's an exception, in this case it will print out the display the stack trace. Okay, and here's the code that we use. First we want to create a file reader object, and we want to read in that source file. We want to create a buffered read object, and we want to read in the F reader or the file reader object. And then finally we have we use the file writer, create a variable called writer, and with that we're going to read in the target file. We're going to output, we're writing to a file with the file writer object, and we're going to write to that target file. Okay, so we put all of that between the first part of the try catch block between the parentheses, and now we go with our code block, which will be our while statement. And our while statement says while we're reading this, keep going. We're in a while loop, an infinite while loop, and it will keep reading this until there's a line that says we're at the end of the file, or it's null. And then it will exit out of this, and it will say that this has been the file has been copied. So as it's reading, as it's going through and reading this, it will write to that file, and like I say, keep going until the file reaches null. In other words, the end of the file. Okay, so right now this target file is empty, but when I go back here and run this, it runs and it says the file has been copied, and now when I go back to this target file, it has copied everything over to it. Okay, that's all for this example.